Let's talk about a question that causes a lot of anxiety. You know the feeling you have one little slip up, one missed EMI payment, and suddenly your whole financial future feels like it's hanging by a thread. Today, we're gonna cut through all that panic and give you the real story. No fear tactics, just the facts. Just imagine this for a second. You wake up, you check your phone, and there it is. That notification that makes your heart just sink. EMI payment failed. And instantly, your mind starts racing, right? Is my home loan application gonna get rejected? Is that car I wanted to buy now impossible? Did I just ruin everything with one single mistake? If that feeling is even remotely familiar, just take a deep breath. You are absolutely not alone. This is such a common fear. And honestly, the whole point of this explainer is to cut through that panic and give you some real clarity. We're just gonna calmly look at what actually happens.
So to really understand the impact, we first need to look at what CIBIL is actually seeing. Think of it like we're pulling back the curtain on your financial report card.
So what is your CIBIL score? Well, at its core, it's just a 3-digit number, somewhere between 300 and 900. It's calculated by TransUnion CIBIL, and it's pretty much the first thing lenders look at. It's their quick snapshot to answer one really crucial question. Can we trust you with our money? And what you can see here are the different tiers that lenders use. If you're above 750, you're in the excellent category. You're basically a top-tier borrower. 700 to 749 is still considered good, but once you dip below 650, you enter what they call the risk zone. And yeah, getting new credit starts to get a lot harder. Okay, let me be perfectly clear about the most important point we're gonna make today. One single missed payment does not mean your financial life is over. It just doesn't. Yes, it can hurt your score, but the damage is almost always manageable, and even more importantly, it's reversible. So here's the crucial part. The severity of the damage almost entirely depends on one thing. How late is your payment? A delay of a few days is a totally different story than a delay of a few months. Let's break down what each of these timelines really means for your score. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the numbers. How many points are we actually talking about here? Let's try to calculate the potential damage. So if you pay your EMI within 30 days of the due date, it might get reported as 30 days past due. If that happens, you could see your score drop by anywhere from, say, 20 to 75 points. The exact number really depends on your existing score and your payment history. Now, here's something that honestly surprises a lot of people. You'd think a person with a fantastic score would be penalized less, wouldn't you? But a lot of the time, the exact opposite is true. So why would a nearly perfect score take a bigger hit than a pretty mediocre one? It all comes down to the psychology behind credit scoring. If you've got a perfect 800 score, lenders basically see you as flawless. So a single late payment completely shatters that pattern of perfection, and the scoring model reacts really strongly. But for someone with, say, a 680 score, who might already have a bit of a mixed history, another late payment, well, it just doesn't shock the system as much. It's all about expectations. Okay, now if your payment crosses that 30-day mark and starts heading towards 60 days overdue, things get a lot more serious. Your report shows a much bigger red flag, and the potential score drop increases to a range of 50 to even over 100 points. At this stage, lenders really start to see you as a risk. And this is the real danger zone. Once a payment is over 90 days late, your loan can actually be classified as a non-performing asset, or NPA. This is a huge deal. The impact on your CIBIL score can be a drop of 100, maybe even 200 points, which would make it extremely difficult to get any kind of credit in the near future. You know, these numbers can feel a little abstract, so let's apply them to a real-world scenario. Let's meet Rahul and see exactly how one mistake played out for him. So Rahul, he started with an excellent score of 780. He had one personal loan and, life happens, he just forgot an EMI. He paid it 35 days late, but because it crossed that critical 30-day threshold, it got reported. And the result, his score plummeted by about 50 to 70 points, landing him somewhere in the low 700s. He went from excellent right down to just good because of one simple oversight. Okay, so we've seen the damage. Now for the most important part. How do you fix it? Because the good news is you absolutely can. Let's talk about your path to recovery. So if you're watching this right now and you've just missed a payment, listen up. Don't panic, and please don't ignore it. The absolute worst thing you can do is nothing. Here's exactly what you should do right now. First, pay the entire overdue amount, including any late fees, immediately. The faster you act, the better. Second, get a copy of your CIBIL report so you can see exactly what's been reported. Third, if you look at it and find an error, you can raise a dispute with CIBIL. And finally, the most critical step of all, make absolutely sure you do not miss the next one. Consistency from this point forward is everything. And here's probably the best news you're going to hear. Credit damage is not permanent. If it was just one mistake and you get right back on track, you can often see your score recover in as little as 3 to 6 months for a small drop. For a more significant hit, it might take maybe 6 to 12 months of consistent, on-time payments to rebuild that trust. Of course, the best strategy is always prevention. Life gets busy, we all know that, so you have to build systems to protect yourself. Set up auto debit for all your payments. Make sure the funds are ready a few days early. Build an emergency fund for those unexpected crises. And use simple tools like calendar reminders on your phone. Little systems like these prevent big stress. So let's just bring it all together. The truth is, one late payment is a setback. It's not a catastrophe. What truly damages your financial reputation is a pattern of delays. Lenders can forgive a single mistake. It's the habit of missing payments that they just can't ignore. And just remember, your credit history, yeah, it looks back, but it's built today. Every single on-time payment you make from this moment on is a positive step. It's a signal to the entire financial system that you are reliable, you are trustworthy, and that you are in control of your financial life. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Forget about the past mistake. What is one simple system, setting up one auto payment, creating one little calendar alert, that you can put in place today to make sure this never causes you stress again? Because that financial peace of mind, well, that's priceless.